Mike Owens with Inside Fighting, joined today by the woman of the hour, the UFC Bantamweight Champion, Kayla Harrison. Kayla, how good does that sound?
I'm still getting used to it, my friend, but it sounds pretty damn good.
What you've won a lot in your career, Olympic gold medals, PFL titles, UFC titles now. I'm interested, what are the immediate couple of days like after the things, when do things kind of settle down after such a big victory?
Yeah. Well, I do feel like who I have been during each kind of moment in those journeys is has evolved quite a bit
Mm,
and changed quite a bit. Um, this win specifically is very reminiscent of when I won the Olympics for the first time in London. When you dream about something for years and you visualize something for years and then it happens, it almost still feels like a dream.
mm.
Like it doesn't feel real. And so yeah, I've been on cloud nine, just very grateful. And who I am is probably the biggest difference in terms of like, well, first of all, I'm a mom now.
Mm.
So uh, realizing that that blessing is bigger than any belt. On the flight home, I was kind of thinking about, I sat next to a lovely woman and we were talking about my life and kids because I had the belt. And so she was
Mm.
like, she was older and she was like, what do what do you do? And I was explaining. But then we started talking about my kids and I thought about what if I was coming home to an empty house and I just had this belt, like how terrible that would be. And so it put a lot of things in perspective for me about my growth, I think, as a person and what really matters to me. And also how blessed I am because when you, when you realize that like, when you start living for something other than yourself, I think you start really living. And so it's been amazing. And the other piece of it, I think that has been very powerful for me is for the first time in my career and in my life, I really feel as if I'm a vessel and as if like I have finally gotten out of my own way and sort of just allowed God to use me how he sees fit and that I am truly walking in my purpose and I am um, being forged in the fire. Like it's been hell.
Yeah.
It's been very hard, but it has absolutely been God's plan for my life. And the peace that I have is, yeah, you can't get it from earthly things. I look in the mirror and I am very proud of the woman that I have become. And yeah, I sleep good at night.
Look, lots of people have goals. Anybody with any ambition has goals
Mhm.
that they want to hit in their career. I have goals that I haven't quite hit. I hope that hopefully one day I will. But
Mhm.
to see you accomplish a goal that I know has been on your mind, where even when you were fighting in a different organization, we were talking about that. Everybody was asking you about the eventual move to the UFC, let's be honest. Can you
Yeah.
just put into words what it feels like to hit a goal that you've had, I'm assuming, in your mind for so long?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that for me, it's evolved quite a bit over the years. You know, even when I started MMA, um, I was still very much living for external rewards. And I, my worth was based on what people thought of me or if I could achieve things or if I could accomplish things. And so, um, over this 7 year journey in MMA, I have changed a lot and my mindset has changed a lot. And um, I think the reason that it was um, so satisfying is that like I was at peace with whatever happened. I
Mm.
finally got to the place where like I show up every day, I work my ass off, I leave no stone unturned. I do the next right thing. I don't skip any steps. I trust the process. I have faith. I surrender to the shitty parts of the process. But like the result is not the reward. Who I became is the reward. And so that, like, reaching that level of awareness and like, um, I don't know, just vibrating at that frequency. Um, the goal is just the cherry on top. The goal is just like, oh yeah, that's right. I am the UFC champion.
Where's the belt? Is it at home? Is it now an American Top
Yeah,
Team in the trophy cabinet?
they actually give you two belts. So
Okay.
one is like the one that you take for appearances, and one is the legit one, I guess. And so I'm gonna put the legit one in the trophy case at American Top Team until Dan gets his little replica made. And they're both sitting on my laundry. They're both in my laundry room.
What?
Don't snore.
See, we're getting the good stuff. We're getting the answers that the people need to know. What was that experience like going back to American Top Team? There will be dozens of
Uh,
people on that mat, from an amateur, from an early pro, even people who have more fights than you, who will look at you as a source of inspiration. What was that moment like?
Special, very special. I'm very proud of the fact that I am a homegrown ATT girl. I never had a fight with any other coaches. The
Mm,
same coaches that I started with, Mike, Mako, Anderson, my judo coaches, Jimmy and Big Jim, are the coaches that got me to a UFC title 20 fights in. The same manager,
mm.
the same team. And it's an honor for me. It's an honor for me to finally bring that belt back home and share it with the people who helped me achieve it. Every doctor who's helped me recover from an injury, every my physical therapist, my weight cut specialist, Crystal,
Mm.
Rebecca, the team behind the team, all of my coaches, all of my teammates, all of my training partners. Like this belt belongs to each and every one of them. Richie, who runs the gym, Primo, who runs the logistics of like all of these people were an integral part of me getting to this point, and I wouldn't be there if it weren't for them, and I wouldn't be the woman I am if it weren't for them. So sharing it there, yeah, is a dream come true.
I have one question to ask about the weight because I feel like it's an exhaust topic, but what I wanted to say is more of a comment than a question. I feel like the weight is a metaphor for you because
Mm,
you've always had the no stone left unturned mentality. You've always had the I'm going to work harder, I'm going to do things that people can't do. And
mhm,
let's be honest, we see weight misses in the sport every single week.
mhm.
That quite easily could have been you if you had a different mentality. And I just think it's a quite a nice metaphor, and it speaks to knowing
Yeah,
you as I do. It speaks to you very,
yeah,
very well.
thank you. Yeah, I think that um, my faith is a big piece of who I am. I'm
Mm,
very vocal about it, and so for sure you have to back it up. Like you have to back up 15 weeks out every single step. You know, um, I walked 6 miles every day for 15 weeks. I walked 6 miles, I biked for 2 hours, or I swam for an hour and a half. And on Sundays, I walked eight. That's like, I don't know, 44 miles a week on average. So I'm basically training for a marathon. I'm only eating what my chef gives me. I told them, don't put the macros on it. I don't even want to know. Like, and if I got really hungry, I would give myself a scoop of peanut butter. Like if I had like really bad cravings or I was
mm.
just like dead, I had a scoop of peanut butter. I think I did that like 3 times this camp. And I'm training twice a day for a fist fight. I'm sparring or I'm going live and grappling and I'm drilling at night. And then you have the heat acclimation. So you're sitting in a sauna. I'm putting my kids to bed. And then at 9 o'clock at night, I'm going and sitting in the sauna for an hour by myself, talking to God, praying that this is going to be worth it. Um, and again, like I give credit to God because I was afraid and I did have doubts and and it was really hard. And I
Yeah.
don't think that I could have done it if it weren't for not only his peace that was with me in that fire, but also the people he put in my life. Like my coaches, I'm getting out of the sauna on Thursday night and I'm still, and I'm praying to God, like, please let it be over. Please let me be on. Please let me be on. Please let me be on. And I'm still 2 pounds over.
Mm.
And Mike's like, that's good job. Excellent push. Let's go, champ. And Mako's like, there, yeah, you're on, like, and
Mm.
Eric's like, let's fucking go. You've got like, that's perfect. That's exactly where we want, just pouring into me. And um, yeah, I knew that if I broke, if I cried, or if I said I wanted to stop, that I wasn't going to make weight. And so I give the credit to them because they kept my spirits high just enough to make it happen. So
Incredible. Couple more before I let you go. In some ways, the more viral moment of, but rather than you winning the title, was the face-off afterwards with Amanda. What did you see when you looked in her eyes?
um oh, it's okay. Sorry.
No
Um
problem.
yeah, well, I felt like I got to have my moment. I got to say what I really felt was on my heart to say. I got and Joe was kind of like signing off, and
Mm.
they uh panned to her on the jumbotron, and I saw it on the jumbotron, and I was like, oh man, here's God just giving me another layup. Like, here we go. Let's make it happen. Let's make some promotional magic. Like, this is his plan for me. And nothing but respect. She congratulated me. She gave me a hug. Like, she's all smiles,
Mm.
and we faced off. And um, I believe that she is a great fighter. She is the greatest fighter of all time. But this is my time.
I think the backstory, what you two have both done in the sport, and both of your personalities, two very similar but two very different people. This could be the biggest fight in women's MMA history. I really believe that.
It's gonna be. I think that when you have two uh, just powerhouses and titans, and um, and it all comes together the way that it's coming together, and it all plays out the way that it's playing out. And like, I hope that we continue on this path with respect and with
Yes.
mutual, um, yeah, just respect and honor the martial arts way, and do it the right way. Yeah, it's going to be intense, man. And I know that we are going to step in that cage, and we are going to bring women's MMA to a whole new level.
Last question from me, because I told you off camera I made a conscious effort to try and think of questions that you maybe haven't been asked. And you've probably been asked this, so apologies. Do
No,
your kids know what you do for a living? Do your kids know what
yeah,
that mum's jumping on a plane and it's not
yeah,
just a business trip like mum is what mum is going with it? Is more, do they appreciate? Because there's a moment where you switch from Kayla Harrison back to mum, and
totally,
I'm wondering
totally.
what that switch is like.
Well, my daughter does. My
Mm.
daughter is like really. I dropped they're at camp for a couple hours this morning. That's why I'm doing all this media. And the woman she was like, your daughter's so proud of you. She told us. And like, and then I told my son, and they're like, no way, Kayla Harrison's daughter is do and so like, my daughter knows. She watched the fight. She was ticked actually that I didn't let her come to the fight. Um, so
She's got your
that's
sassiness. I like it.
oh oh I am like, I want you to be a strong, confident, independent young woman with everyone but me, please. Like, I don't need this. I
Mm.
don't need this attitude. Um, no, it's awesome. But then, you have my son, and we're having breakfast this morning, and I'm like, hey, Emery, like, did you know that mom had a fight? And he's like, oh yeah, I think Kyla told me that. And I was like, okay. Do you know that mom won? And he was like, what? No. Did you? And I was like, yeah, I won. He doesn't care. And I think that that is like um, a gift,
Mm.
like I, it brings balance to my
Yeah.
life, and it brings Yeah, like I'm back. Saturday night, the president of the United States is giving me a kiss on the cheek and inviting me to the White House, and I'm facing off with the greatest of all time, and Dana White's wrapping a belt around my waist. And Sunday night, I'm cleaning up chicken shit and doing the dishes. So it's it's a good balance. It's a healthy balance, and they are my purpose. I
Mm.
do love what I do. I do have a passion. I do have a fire inside of me. I do feel like God has called me to do this. But uh, it for me, it goes God, family, fighting. They
Mm.
are they are the most important thing on this earth, and um, showing up for them and being present with them and giving them a safe, happy, healthy childhood, and also teaching them that, like, yeah, it's okay to live your life on fire. It's okay to chase your dreams, and it's okay if you fall short as long as you give your best. Yeah, that's for me is the most it's the most amazing thing I've ever done. I don't care what other people think, but like me being their mom is the greatest joy of my life and the greatest honor of my life.
And I think that's the best place for us to end. Kayla, when I was researching for today and I was trying to think of some questions to ask, I had a Bible phrase that kept coming to mind, and it was do good and good will be returned, because that is you encapsulated. You are such a positive, force. Whoever you interact with has a good interaction with. You've helped me in my career so much, and you know that. So thank you for the time consistently over the years, and congratulations. And I'm truly, truly so happy to see you win that belt on Saturday night.
Thank you so much, my friend. That is the greatest compliment you could give me. And yeah, it's an honor for me. And um, yeah, now it's your turn to pay it forward and to continue to be the light in the world and do good so that good comes back to you.
And apologies for making you cry.
No, no, thank you.